মানে অ্যাডাম ব্যাস লাগে।
Yeah, good morning, friends, and welcome to this webinar on the server administration. I hope I am audible and I hope you can see my screen. Can you please confirm in chat box, anyone? Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you. Okay, so as you know, this is a webinar on server administration, especially the Linux server administration. But with this server administration, we'll go with the Windows Server Administration, as well as we'll just try to go and touch a bit about the AWS, the cloud computing. Okay, fine. Now, before we see what we are going to discuss in this session, especially like I said, the Linux administration, let me just introduce myself so that you know you'll get perfect idea what you can expect from me. I'm Shakeel Aman here. Okay, I have 14 plus years of experience in this IT. Okay, and in this last 14-15 years, actually, I have experience on different domains, like on Windows servers, Linux servers, networking, okay, virtualization, security, and cloud computing. These are the things I have done in my career in last 14-15 years. Actually, this is the experience I have. Okay, so majorly today we'll be focusing on the Linux servers, but you know I'll be taking cloud computing also, and I'll be taking the Windows server also. So I'll just try to add some basic inputs about the cloud computing as well as the Windows Server administration. Fine. This is my introduction. Okay. And the second thing here is, see, this is a live session, right? This is a live session and the session has started recorded. This recording has been started actually. Okay. So once we finish our session, we'll share all the recordings with you. So not only for a demo session or for a webinar, each and every session we will record here, my friend. From day one to the end of our course, we will record each and every session and all the recordings will be shared with you. So initially 2 to 3 sessions will be available on YouTube. DURGASOFT people have a YouTube channel, so it will be available on YouTube. For 2 to 3 sessions, people who register for this course, we will share the recordings with only those people. Okay, so we will record each and every session, my friend. Second thing is, like I said, the live session, what should be the advantage for you? In every live session, the advantage for you should be you should have the option of interacting with the trainer. See, if you're attending a class and if you're not clearing your doubts, that's not a good thing, right? So every time the chat box is open, for sure, I'm not disabling the chat box, and you can simply interact with me through, like, unmuting yourself. So chat box is open, as well as you can unmute yourself and you can talk to me at any time. But every session is recording, so it's better we will keep our sessions more organized. So it's better at the end of the session, if you want to talk to me at the end of the session, we can have some interaction there. But anyhow, chat box is open, as well as you can talk to me directly at the end of the session. I always say this, the best thing you can do in a live session is you can interact with the trainer and you can clear all the doubts. You're not watching a recorded video here. You're not, into a recorded session. You're into a live session. Okay, fine. Then you will get some notes from me. Okay, then I'll share some, interview questions and answers that are related with our technology. Okay, so like this, we'll just try to, organize things in much better way. Okay, so recordings will be provided. You have the option of interacting with me. You'll get some running notes. Okay, and yeah, there is already one question like how many sessions are going to be there for this course. See, it will take 40 days. So sessions can be like 32 to 34 sessions will be there for this particular Linux server administration. Okay. Yeah, I'm sharing the screen. I hope you can see the screen now. Okay, so let me just come again. This is my introduction, friend. This is my name. And this is my experience, 14 years of experience. And I have experience on all these things, all these technologies. Okay. So currently this is a Linux server administration course. So I'll be majorly focusing on Linux server. But with Linux server, we will just take some inputs of Windows server, as well as we'll just try to go and explore some basics of the cloud computing. Because at the end of the day, after completing the Linux server administration, probably you will be, going into the cloud computing only, right? So we'll just have some brief introduction about cloud computing today. Okay, so next 40 to 45 minutes, hopefully it will be very fruitful for you. It will be very useful for you. Okay. And like I said to you, my friend, the chat box is always open. Try to keep the session more interactive. If I'm getting questions from your side, the sessions will work very well actually. Okay, that means you are able to understand something. You are able to interact with me. That means you are able to understand something. So just try to keep the sessions as interactive as possible. Okay, fine. Now let us go and see. Let us go and explore something about the Linux servers. Okay, there is one more question here. How to get recorded sessions? See, management will provide you all the recorded sessions here. You have the mail ID with them, right? You have already provided your mail ID as well as your mobile phone number. So management will share all the recorded sessions with you. Okay, fine. So let us see what is server administration. Now, before we see what is actually server administration, let us try to see what is a operating system. We know this very well, right? You might have seen this in your college. Maybe there was a subject related to computers. You might have seen somewhere on YouTube or Google that, operating system is what? Operating system is an interface between a user and a hardware. This is a universal definition we see every time when we talk about the operating system, right? It is interface between a user and the hardware. Now let us try to elaborate a bit more what exactly it says. See, at the end of the day, we are using our hardware to store data. Like where we store our data, we store data on our hard drive, right? Fine. See, at the end of the day, we will use our processor or memory or motherboard to access something over the internet. Okay. We use a speaker to hear some audio and to watch some video. Okay. So we are using our hardware. But the question here is, can we use our hardware without having a proper operating system there? Answer is no. I am the user, my machine is the hardware. But between me and my machine, the interface that is helping me, the mediator is actually the operating system. So without operating system, we cannot use our hardware. Whatever latest hardware you take, whether it is a laptop, a desktop, or even your mobile phones. In our mobile phones also, there is an operating system, right? Like your Android or maybe iOS, whatever. So every machine is having a operating system. Without operating system, we cannot use our hardware. Okay, fine. Done. Now, as of today, if you just analyze in last 10, 15, 20, 30 years, now which operating system is the most famous operating system, or which operating system is the widely used operating system across the globe? Now, the answer will be your Windows operating system is indeed the most famous operating system, especially Windows client operating system. See, in my computer, which OS I'm using here? In my computer, I'm using Windows 10 operating system here, right? You might be using Windows 10 or you might be using Windows 11, but take any laptop or a desktop, my friend, 90 to 95% cases, you will see a Windows client operating system is being used. So we are using Windows OS from our school days. I remember I started using Windows 98. I'm not sure how many of you know this Windows 98, but it was a very famous OS back in those days. Then came XP. Then came Windows 7. And then came Windows 8. And now we are using Windows 10 as well as Windows 11. So this was your whole story. But I started using Windows 98. Then XP was very famous. So is Windows 7. Anyhow, so majority of computers, whether it is a laptop or a desktop, we use Windows client operating system. So this is the most famous operating system on the face of the earth. Okay. Now, when we talk about computers and laptops, fine, we are using these computers and laptops in our day-to-day life, maybe in our company or maybe in the university or maybe in our home, we are using these laptops and desktops. But let us see what we do by using these laptops and desktops. See, is there any time in last one day or 1 week or 1 month or 1 year maybe, you have used your laptop and a desktop without interacting with the internet or without accessing anything over the internet? Answer will be no, right? We just go there and use our laptops and desktops majorly to access internet. And what we access over the internet? Over the internet, we access multiple applications like maybe YouTube, maybe like Facebook, or our email servers or any XYZ application servers. Okay. So by using our laptops and desktops, we connect to the internet. And what is running over the internet? What exactly is there over the internet? Let me just show you a very, let me just go to images and I'll take image so that you can understand things in much better way. Okay, fine. See here, this is a very basic computer network here. Every company works in this particular way. There are some laptops here. There are some computers here. Okay. And there is an internet connection here. Fine. But out of all these devices, there is one device that I want to highlight here. And that device is actually your server. Ah, So by using a laptop, I'm connected to server. By using a desktop, I'm connected to server. By using a mobile phone, I'm connected to server. So whatever devices are there, my friend, whatever devices we are using in our personal life or maybe in our company, we are literally connected to this machine that is known as a server machine. Okay. Now, a laptop hardware and a server hardware is similar. Similar in the sense, in laptop, we have motherboard, processor, RAM, hard disk. In server, what we have? Motherboard, processor, RAM, hard disk. Okay, let me just, if I go with this, let's say this is our laptop. What is the basic layer in laptop or maybe desktop? The basic layer in the laptop and the desktop is the hardware. Fine. Now, on top of this hardware, what we do? We install our operating system. Which operating system is this? This is your client operating system. Client OS. Okay. And on top of this client OS, we run our applications. Okay, fine. So this is the basic thing you need to understand carefully. Every machine is a hardware machine, first of all. And on top of that hardware machine, we have the operating system running there, my friend. Okay. Now, if I go with this server here now, let's say this is a server. What we have in server, the first thing that we have in a server is obviously your hardware. Fine. We have the hardware here. Now, on top of this hardware in a server machine, what we have here, we have the server operating system. What we have here, friends? We have this server operating system. In a laptop and a desktop, we have the client operating system, but in a server machine, we have the server operating system. Okay. Now, the most famous server operating system we have is actually Linux server operating system. Which one? The Linux server operating system. Let me just add some famous server operating systems. One is your Linux, and another one is your Windows Server, and Mac is also there. But I can say 80 to 85%, or let's say up to 90% cases across the globe over the internet, whenever you see any server, that server is having which operating system? The Linux server operating system. Now, within Linux, there can be Red Hat Linux, there can be Ubuntu, there can be SUSE, there can be CentOS. There are different distributions there. That's a different story. But as of now, 85 to 90% cases on a server, there will be a Linux server operating system. Got it? Now, Windows is famous for certain things. Like, in Windows, there is something called Active Directory Service. So Windows servers are famous for that particular thing. So overall, Linux servers and Windows servers will take around 95 to 96% of servers across the globe. That's a big percentage, right? 95 to 96% servers that are running in companies or over the internet, they are using either Linux or Windows. And when you do comparison between Linux and Windows, Linux is having obviously the upper hand. Okay. Now the question here is why we have to take a server hardware and why we have to take a Linux or the Windows Server operating system. So we are more than happy with our client operating system here, right? Windows 10 or Windows 11, we can use this easily. So what is the reason for using this Linux server operating system here? Now listen carefully, my friend. Without a server operating system, we cannot imagine the internet. Whatever applications are running over the internet, like a web application, a file application, a database application, a mail application, a DNS server, or any application that is running over the internet, that application is running actually on a server machine and on this server operating system. So Linux server is famous for hosting web services, file servers, database servers, email servers, DNS servers, and all the type of applications are supported on Linux server operating system. Now, what about Windows? Can we install a web server, file server, database server, mail server, as well as DNS server on a Windows machine? Of course, we can do that. We can do that also. We can install all these things on Windows servers also. Okay. But why Linux is widely used? There are certain reasons actually that we will discuss hopefully in next 10 minutes. But as of now, I hope you understood this scenario. There is a server machine. On top of the server machine, there is a server operating system. And on top of the server operating system, we are running our applications. So whatever I have written there, like email server, web server, file server, database server, everything comes under the application category. Application or services. Done. So can we imagine the computer network without a server operating system? No. Can we imagine the internet without a server operating system? No. Can we connect to any application over the internet from our mobile phone by using without using the server operating system? No. So literally whole internet is running on the server operating system. Okay, every application, like maybe you have already used phone pay application from morning, WhatsApp, maybe Instagram, maybe all these applications are running on a server machine and on a server operating system. I hope it is clear now. Now let us move to the next stage of our introduction about Linux. Okay, so we know what is a server operating system. We are using this to run the applications and all this thing, right? Now, what we need to know about this Linux actually. Like, in Windows, we know this very well. Like, in Windows, there is a start menu here. There is a date and time option here. Okay, there is a recycle bin. And, then there is the option called task manager. By using this task manager, we can see the performance of the machine. So we know how to use our Windows client operating system, right? Now, if I ask you a question, like how many of you know how to use a Linux server here? Maybe the answer is 0. Or maybe you know some very basics of Linux. But with this basics of Linux, can we get a job as a Linux administrator? Or can we start a career in cloud computing or DevOps or cyber security or database or networking? Answer is no. So what we need to know here, my friend, is we need to know about the Linux server operating system. What is Linux server operating system? What are the different distributions available? How to install? And the main thing is how to do administration of this particular Linux servers. Now, what is this administration? I'll take very simple example here. Administration means, let's say this is your Linux server. And here you can see there are many users sitting on their machines. Maybe he is an accounts person, maybe he's a marketing person, maybe he's a programmer, maybe that person is a HR. So there are different people sitting in your company, sitting in your organization, and they are working. Accounts person is connected to the server. Programmer is connected to the server. Manager is connected to the server. And who else? Let's say one more programmer, he is also connected to the server. All these people are connected to server. But you know what exactly they do in that server? According to their role, according to their responsibility, they access the server. They may make some documents, or they may work on a coding, or they may work on a software or whatever. So as a Linux administrator, one of the responsibility is we need to provide resources to these people. We need to provide their working environment. We just need to say like, okay, you're an accountant, you should connect to this Linux server. These are the applications for you. Use this application and do your accounting work. Okay, you're a programmer, connect to the Linux server and you need this particular softwares in the Linux server. So these are the softwares for you. Connect and do this particular work. So according to the level of their work, according to their usage, we need to provide them with those resources, the hardware resources as well as the applications. So when you take a Linux server, it is just a plain operating system. Nothing is there in Linux. It's only operating system. Without configuration of the Linux server, my friend, no user can connect to the server. And see, if from within a company, actually, if no user is connecting to the server, company is not working. So as a Linux administrator, my responsibility is to take a Linux server operating system and configure Linux server operating system in such a way that, you know, any department person can connect to the server, and with all the securities, he can access whatever is allowed to him. A programmer cannot access what, you know, a marketing person is doing. A marketing person cannot access the HR department. HR department people cannot access the accounting department. So everything is, you know, divided there, and still they can connect to the server and they can work on their particular application. But again, like I said, server is just a plain operating system. According to our requirement, we need to configure server in such a way that, you know, users can connect and users can do their particular task. This is one thing. This is one responsibility of a Linux server administrator. Beside this, you know, security. There is some data. There is some data in your server. Who should access data? We should not allow any XYZ person to access any XYZ file, right? This is very common thing. I hope you know this. Data security is one of the most important part, actually, my friend. We will spend couple of classes, at least couple of classes, in learning how we can provide security to that particular file or to that particular folder. So we need to provide security there. We need to monitor performance monitoring. Performance monitoring means, you know, server is running, how much load a server is taking, whether it can handle that much traffic or not. Okay, whether it can handle that much load or not. Backup and recovery. Whenever the data is there, it's my responsibility as a Linux administrator to take backup. Okay, and in case if I lose my main data, then I have to recover my backup, and I should provide everything to the user. Okay, resource management and process management. Resource management means, like I said, every user should get their resources. Your server should not be, you know, added with more burden. If there is more burden on server, the server will go down. What is the meaning of burden here? Let's say there is a server to which 5,000 people can connect at the same time. It can handle that much traffic. What if 12,000 people are connecting to the server? Then, you know, server is getting more burden there. So like this, we need to monitor process management, resource management. All these things we have to do as a Linux server administrator. We have to create users, and to these users, we have to give the permissions. Okay, we have to give permissions to users. We have to give permissions to groups. We have to give permissions to the files. Okay, we should not allow any XYZ person to access anything. Let's say there is a user with the name Ravi. Ravi should access only 10 commands in Linux. How many commands? Only 10 commands. Although there are some hundreds and thousands of commands, but for this Ravi user, what we did, we said you can connect to the server and you can execute only these 10 commands. See, such a big security measure we have taken here. So this is what a operating system does, my friend. This is what any operating system will do. It is possible on Windows Server operating system as well as it is possible on the Linux Server operating system. But again, the question remains same. If it is possible on Windows servers as well as Linux server, why 80 to 85% companies across the globe, they will go with the Linux servers? That will be the question that we will address now. So I hope you understood what is the operating system now. There are two types of OS. One is a server OS, one is a client OS. Client OS we are using on laptops and desktops. Server OS we are using on the server machine. So without using a server OS, we cannot run the applications. So everything that is running over the internet comes under the application category. Okay, so we cannot run our applications without using a server OS. And Linux, like we have said again, Linux is the mostly used server OS across the globe. But let us see why. I'll come to all these things, hopefully in our coming sessions. But as of now, let us go and see. These are the things we need to consider before we select a operating system. Okay, hardware compatibility. What is the meaning of compatibility? Compatibility means you're taking a server operating system or any operating system for that matter. This operating system we can install on which particular hardware? Linux server, we can install Linux server literally on any hardware. Like for example, let's say you have 1 GB RAM. How much? 1 GB RAM. Can we imagine a machine with 1 GB RAM today in 2024? No way, right? We are getting mobile phones with minimum 8 GB RAM. So what about computers and servers? But let's say you have 1 GB RAM and let's say you have totally 40 GB hard disk. And let's say you have only dual core processor. Any company, Intel or AMD or any XYZ company, any XYZ processor, this particular configuration is more than enough for us to install the Linux server. I repeat, this particular configuration is more than enough to install the Linux server. Technically, we call it as lightweight operating system. So it is compatible with any company hardware and it is compatible with any configuration. That is one great feature. Now, the other thing is software and application availability. Like, can we install email servers? Yes. Can we install web servers? Yes. Can we install, proxy servers, DNS servers, and all these servers? Yes. We can install any type of server there, any type of application. Linux is open for all. It is not restricted to a particular application. Any type of application like gaming server, banking server, email server, web server, file server, database server, whatever servers are available, DNS server, DHCP server, it is compatible with every application, my friend. Okay, now performance and speed. One of the best feature we have in Linux is actually the performance. It will work very smoothly. We will hardly get any issues. Normally we will get some issues in our desktop machines, right? Our laptops and desktops are not working properly because our Windows operating system is consuming more resources, like more memory or more CPU. But coming to Linux, it is excellent. It is a very lightweight operating system. It works smoothly on any sort of hardware. Okay. Then we have security. This is one of the major things we are going to learn in our coming classes, my friends. Security should be at the top. So Linux is providing excellent security. Normally people say in Windows, it's very easy to get virus. Obviously, it's very easy to get virus in Windows. But coming to Linux, it is very difficult to get a virus in our Linux servers. This is one of the reasons why a company will go with Linux server operating system compared to the Windows. It is very rare that you will get a virus. It is maybe because of the administrator's mistake, the virus can come. But generally, virus will not come in a Linux machine because by default, there is something called permission, which is not there. Okay, what is this permission and all those things we will see. But as of now, data security is there. Hacking security is there, as well as security from virus. What else you need? Then we have support. Support means, we have many groups actually. We have many, groups where we can take support and we can simply solve any problem if there is any. And the other thing is, Red Hat people also provides you the support. So support is also very excellent. And coming to cost. How much money we need to spend to take a Linux server operating system? The answer is 0, whether it is $0 or 0 rupees. We just need to spend 0 rupees or $0 to bring a Linux server operating system. You know what you can do now? You can simply go to redhat.com. You can download the Red Hat latest version. So by the way, we are learning the latest version 9.x. This is the latest version from Red Hat. Latest means it came maybe like 1.5 years before, but still it is latest. It is new. So to use the Linux server operating system, there is no need to pay any money. It is absolutely free. I repeat, the Linux server operating systems are absolutely free. Maybe in your company, let's say there are totally 1,000 servers. For all these 1,000 servers, how many operating systems we need? Obviously, we need 1,000 operating systems. So can I take 1,000 Linux operating systems for free? Of course, I can take 1,000 Linux operating systems for free. See, this is such a big thing here, right? You're taking an operating system for free. You're installing on your server. You're running an email server, a web server, a file server, or any XYZ server. And no one is asking you any money. What else you need now? This is one of the reasons why the Linux servers are widely used. 85% is not a small majority, my friend. If I say 51%, that is a majority, right? But I'm saying around 85, maybe more than 85% servers over the globe, over the internet, all over the globe, they are using Linux because it is free. Security is much better. Performance is much better. It will support all the application. Okay, hardware compatibility is there. It will support any sort of hardware. Okay, these are some of the reasons why Linux servers are famous across the globe. Now, Windows Server is also a operating system, right? Listen, Windows servers are famous for certain things like Active Directory. So in case if there are 1,000 servers in a company, maybe let us say 850 servers are running on Linux, but still we have 150 servers where the Windows Server operating system is running. Okay, what we do in Linux server, we do the performance monitoring, we provide the security, okay, we share the data, or we provide the security on the data, okay, we create users, we allow users to connect to the server, and we allow users to do particular tasks. That is what we do in Linux server. And what we do in Windows server, exactly same. I repeat, we do exactly the same thing in Windows server also. The only difference is the configurations. Linux servers are configured in commands and Windows servers are configured in graphics. That is the only difference we have, my friend. So overall, the use and the work of the servers are same, but Linux server is having upper hand compared to the Windows servers. I'll do one thing. I'll just start a Linux server so that I can show you how it looks. This is we will see in coming classes, like how we can install a Linux server operating system there and how we can connect to it and how we can configure things. See, Linux server should be the first priority for anyone who is willing to start a career in the administration field, whether he is planning to go with cloud administration, DevOps, or cyber security, or networking, hacking, ethical hacking, whatever you are planning to go with, my friend, Linux is the first requirement. And people say like, okay, I know basics of Linux. Okay, fine. You know the basics. With basics, you can learn cloud computing. Yes. With basics, you can learn, let's say, ethical hacking. Less. Yes, we can do that. With basics, you can go with, let's say, cyber security. Yes. With basics, you can go with DevOps. Yeah, we can go with all these things with basics of Linux. But my friend, companies are looking for people who know the administration, not the basics. Why would a company takes me if I say I know some 10 15 commands in Linux, I know some basics of Linux? They will say you have done many other things. Why it is difficult for you to learn Linux? You just need to spend 35 to 40 days in your life to learn Linux, and rest of your life the Linux is with you. So companies are expecting people to have the knowledge of Linux server administration. I repeat, Linux server administration, not the basics. You can learn basics. Many people say like, okay, I know cat command. Okay, cat command is the very common command we have. But before or after cat command, there are many more things we need to learn, isn't it? So learning Linux should be the top priority for you. That should be the first thing on your, bucket list. First, go with this particular Linux, then go with either cloud or go with either DevOps or, cyber security or ethical hacking or networking or any other thing, my friend. Just do a favor to yourself by learning Linux. Okay, where you learn, when you learn, with whom you learn, it's a different case. It's a different story. But what I'm saying here is, without learning the Linux, you simply cannot see yourself improving in the IT field. You cannot see yourself getting more job opportunities in the IT field. You cannot see yourself getting better packages in this IT field. This is such a big part of our career, my friend. I've just, we have just discussed some basic things about Linux. I hope you realized how important is Linux. See, when I say it is free, then wow, companies will go for this for sure. When I say there is much better security in Linux, then again excellent. Okay. When I say it will support all the applications that are available, then again it is excellent. When I say hardware compatible, it will support any sort of hardware. There is a famous meme actually. There is famous joke. Let me just show you. Linux administrator says Linux can be installed on a hardware like this also. See, if you have a hardware, something like this, still you can install Linux. Okay, so this is what the Linux is all about, my friend. Okay, this is what the Linux is all about. So this is a Linux administration course. Let me just take you through the syllabus first. Then I'll come to the phase. Actually, there is a package. I'll be taking Linux as well as AWS here, Amazon Web Services. So if you want to go with the complete package, Windows Server will come for free. I will share some recorded sessions of Windows servers. Okay, live sessions will be there for Linux and live sessions will be there for the AWS. Okay, we'll go with these live sessions, but Windows, I'll share some recording sessions. Like I said to my friend, in Linux, we are learning about the monitoring, security, sharing, users, groups, data security, all these things. Once you go to Windows, you have the same concept, but practically it is different. So this is what we are going to learn in Linux. We'll start from the basics, then we'll go to the system administration, and then we'll go to the network administration of the Linux. So once we finish our demo session, management will share the details with you. Management will share all the, I think they have already shared the link with you. Yeah, there is a link here and you can just go through that particular link and you can see the content there. Okay. So for this Linux administration, my friend, if you're willing to come only for Linux administration, the fees for Linux administration is 5,000 INR, Indian rupees. That is the fees for this Linux. It will take maximum 40 days. And what we're going to cover in this Linux, this is what we are going to cover. We are starting from the basics, very scratch level, and we will go up to the system administration and the network administration level. I say it again, my friend, just do a favor to yourself by learning the Linux administration course before you go to any other technology, before you jump into any other technology. Okay, if you already started learning AWS, fine, that is acceptable. But if you want to go with DevOps or cyber security or ethical hacking or networking or any other thing, please try to stop that particular learning process there itself. Come back to the Linux and learn Linux first. I have seen many people actually, my friend, who have, completed their, cloud computing or DevOps or cyber security. Then again, they came back to the Linux server administration because basics are not sufficient. At the end of the day, we are working on Linux servers across the globe in around 85% cases. Got it? So this is the fee and this is the duration for this particular course. So every session is recorded. Recordings will be provided to you. You can interact with me at any time. Notes will be provided to you, running notes, and interview questions and answers will be there for sure. So overall, this is what you will be getting from my side. Okay. And if you still have any doubt, any queries, I'm just sharing my mail ID here. That's my mail ID. You can interact with me on that mail ID. And once we start our regular classes, I'll share my mobile phone number. the WhatsApp number actually, so that whenever you have any doubt, or whenever you have any, if you have to take any suggestions or anything regarding your career, feel free to ping me on my mail ID, and hopefully in coming days I'll share my WhatsApp number also. Okay, so as of now, this is what the Linux is all about, my friend. We simply cannot run away from Linux. It's a talk. People feel like Linux servers are difficult to use. Let me just take you inside the Linux server. If you feel Linux servers are difficult to use, every other technology will be difficult to you, my friend. So Linux servers are no way difficult. The only thing in Linux server is it works on commands. Like say if I say ls, it will show you something. Okay. If I say cd dd4, it will take you to some place. If I say cd, it will do something. Okay. If I say touch 1, 2, 3, it will do something. If I say uh, fdisk, it will show you something. Okay. So everything is based on commands here. There are very simple commands, very straightforward commands. In case if you're not able to remember commands, there is a way in which we can go through the commands within the Linux OS. It will show you all the available commands. It will show you what command is used for what purpose. All the details will be available there. So your Linux servers will look something like this. This is your Linux server, Red Hat 9 version, 9.3 actually, this version, what I'm using right now. So it will be like this. It is not difficult. You just need to understand how to use it. Okay, if you go in a proper systematical way, Linux servers are very easy to use. Very soon in your career, a day will come when you're more happy to use commands compared to graphics. I repeat, normally, we are used to using this Windows client operating system, right click, and we just say like new, and we say like folder or maybe file or any sort of file. We are used to it, right? But once you go into your career, when you feel that you are more comfortable in using the commands compared to graphics, that is the day actually you started your career. Within 1 week, 10 days, 15 days, you will be completely used to these commands. But when you feel like, okay, by using a command, I can execute a task very well, I can do the configuration very well. When you think in that way, I can say that is the day you have started your career and you're not looking back. You're not simply looking back. I have seen many people coming from different backgrounds and joining these courses, learning this technology. I have never seen a person in my 14, 15 years of career who is a Linux administrator or a cloud administrator and he is moving into a different path or different career. Never, my friend. I have seen people coming from all sort of backgrounds, marketing, okay, accounts, programming. I have seen people coming from every XYZ background and started their journey in Linux and cloud. But I have never seen a guy, I've never seen a person who has moved away from this particular technology. Why? The reason is there are many job opportunities, good packages, good growth, okay? And there are many other things you can do. It's not only Linux server administration. It's about Linux, it's about cloud computing, it's about DevOps, it's about the cyber security or ethical hacking. There are many other things we have, my friend. Okay, so that's it for the day. It was some basic introduction about Linux. I just want to show you why Linux is so much in use. So just try to remember these points that are mentioned here. If you know these things, it is more than enough for you to know like, okay, Linux is the OS for present as well as for future. Okay, now if you have any questions, any doubts, I'm more than happy to take your questions and doubts. And by the way, like I said, the syllabus will be shared with you. Once you finish the demo session within 1 hour, you will get the recorded session as well as this recorded session, as well as you'll get your course syllabus. And if you still have any doubt, like I already shared my mail ID with you, you can interact with me on that mail ID. You can ping me there. Hopefully, I'll be more than happy to guide you in your career. Okay. If you have already decided to go with Linux and cloud computing as your career, my friend, you have selected an excellent career for yourself. Present and future is very bright. For let's say for next 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, till the time you're working, you can be working on Linux. or cloud or DevOps or cyber security. All these things are connected with each other, right? So you are still working on this. You will be using Linux for the rest of your life. There is no going back. Okay.
Yes, sir. I
What is?
have a question.
Mhm.
Yes, my first question is any difference between Linux system administrator and Linux administrator? Is any difference?
See, when we talk about system administrator, we do some tasks that are related to, like, files, file system, permissions, disk management, run level, whatever you see here, these are the things that are related to the system administrator. But when you talk about the network administrator, we talk about some services like, let's say, FTP service or DNS service or Samba service. These are the services we go there. So system administrator and the network administrator difference is some, commonly used services will be used as a system administrator, but some advanced services will be used in the network administration. Every job has some, levels, right? L1, L2, L3, L4, something like this. So they have just divided this task according to the level. But overall, it is about your Linux servers only.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, I got a question here from my friend. See, my friend, whenever you join a session, please try to join with your name, with your actual name. It will be easy for the trainer to address you. As of now, the name is actually Vimal Pan Masala. I'm not sure that's your actual name, my friend. But anyhow, I'll address you with that name. The question from you is, what is a free for the package AWS and Linux administration? Okay. Joining and non-joining is a different case, but please try to join with your actual credentials. So Linux is 5,000, you know this. AWS is also 5,000. Okay, I'll be providing free Windows Server. So if you want to come in package, I think they will give some discount of, let's say, 9,000 or 20,000, 9,000. If you're willing to come in package, hopefully after Dasara, I'll be starting the Linux. I'll be starting the AWS. As of now, the Linux sessions, I'm starting at 7 a.m. from tomorrow. What is the date tomorrow? 7th October, right? Morning 7 a.m. I'll start the regular classes. Okay. So this is at 7, and AWS I'll start after Dasara. Let's say at close to 7 a.m. Maybe like, after 7 a.m. at 8 a.m. or maybe 9 a.m. something like this. I'll start the AWS classes, and obviously Windows Server administration, I'll be providing the recorded session. So once you finish your Linux, if you go with the Windows recorded sessions, it will be super smooth for you, super easy for you. Okay, Rohit, that is your time, 7 a.m. Sorry, 7 a.m. India Standard Time. So tomorrow it will be the first day of our Linux administration. Okay, couple of classes will go with in a simple and easy way. Then probably we'll just try to enter into the administration classes, and we'll just go with the flow. Okay, every class is connected to the other class. There are 35 to 40 days. Do not try to miss any class. In case if you miss a class for some reason, then you have the recording sessions here, right? Let's say if you miss today's session, class will finish at 10 a.m. 1 hour, 10 minutes sessions will be there. So once you finish the class at 8 a.m., around 10 a.m., your recordings will be available for you. So in case if you miss the class, you have the next 24 hours to go through that particular class and just go through the recording. You'll be much better in the next session. If you miss the class and if you're not watching the recordings, next session may be like a bit difficult for you. Okay, so this is the phase. Phase is 5,000 for this particular Linux.
Yes, sir. I have another question. Do you have any different time? Because I have a machine learning on that time. So in the future, do you have any time like from 9 or in the evening bash?
As of now, this is the time, but next maybe we'll decide after the festival, Dasara festival. So probably we'll have some other time, but as of now, this is the only time I have, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I hope it is clear. I hope the concept you understood, like what is the Linux server, why it is so important, and some basics of Linux. Before we end this session, I just want to say one thing. Very good luck for your careers, my friend. Whatever you have decided, just go with it. And if you have already decided to go with Linux and the cloud and all these things that are related to Linux servers, please try to stick to this particular concept, my friend. This is something that can take you to great heights in your career, job opportunities wise, okay, what you say, this salary wise, the money wise, and all those things. It's something that can, fulfill all your dreams. This is something that is in demand for last many years and many decades, and it will remain in demand forever. Without server operating system, there is nothing in internet. There is no company working, my friend. A company cannot simply run their applications. They cannot store their data. They cannot provide security without a server operating system. And of course, Linux server operating systems are the most famous server operating systems across the globe. Okay, done. That's it from me. I'm here for like 30 more seconds. Any other doubt, we will see. Else, we'll stop the session for today and hope to see you again tomorrow at 7 a.m. India Standard Time.
Before we go, yes, sir. Before we go, do you have any project on Linux like that? In case we enroll, we will be able to do any project in Linux that we can showcase as,
See,
a real-time project.
okay, I understood.
Instead
Yeah,
of
yeah, I
just
understood.
learning the command and stuff like that.
Yeah, I understood your requirement, my friend. Every topic we will take as a project for sure. But at the end of the course, I'll showcase a project so that, you can at least show in the company like, okay, I have done this particular project. I know this many things about the Linux. So at the end of the course, we'll go with it.
Okay.
Okay, so I am here for like final 30 seconds. If no questions, no doubts, we'll stop the session and probably we'll meet again tomorrow at 7 a.m. India Standard Time. Okay, fine. So there are no questions. So thanks a lot for joining this session, because especially Sunday is not a day to do any work. But anyhow, good luck. Take care of your health, and hopefully we'll meet again tomorrow at 7 a.m. India Standard Time with our regular classes. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.